Recently, when I was creating my Ubisoft video, I mentioned Stalker as an example of good open world game, and since I am an honest YouTuber, I wanted to have my own footage while I talk about it. My original plan was to maybe play it for 30 minutes to get some gameplay recorded and then continue my work on the other video. However, as soon as I was thrown into zone once again, I couldn't put it down for next 3 hours. Even years after its release, after playing through it 5 times, it still managed to grab me and immerse me in its world. So in this video, I wanted to take a look at what is Stalker's appeal and why are tons of people still playing it after all these years. Stalker series consists of 3 games: Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Call of Pripyat, released in 2007, 2008, and 2009. For the sake of this video, I replayed the first one, Shadow of Chernobyl, without any game-changing mods. Only one I used was Zone Reclamation Project that fixes a lot of bugs while keeping gameplay as close to original as possible. Even if I only replayed first entry, 90% of things I will be talking about also applies to sequels. This video will be split into few parts where I talk about most important things that make this game so unique. I will start off with artificial intelligence, continue with its world and atmosphere, talk a little bit about underground labs, and finish off with mods that keep it alive. So let's start off with artificial intelligence. Stalker's artificial intelligence is one of the most complex and famous systems that made this game memorable. In typical FPS or open world games, enemies are not very clever. They stand behind cover and wait for you to shoot them without trying to engage or outsmart you much, making them just the virtual dots that you need to click on to proceed. These types of enemies are boring to fight, and their only advantage are huge numbers and powerful weapons. In Stalker, enemies behave differently. When you engage a group of bandits or mercs, they will try a smarter approach by getting behind you or constantly moving from cover to cover, so you have to be careful and pay attention to your surroundings. Let me give you a quick example of this behavior. When I attacked a semi-large group of soldiers, 3 or 4 of them stayed right in front of me, spraying covering fire so I couldn't move, while 2 of them went around and tried to attack me from behind. My only way of survival was to constantly watch my back and slowly move from cover to cover to get upper hands on them and attack them from behind. This type of encounter is normal in Stalker, and every time you meet enemies, you need to use your head, tactics, and any type of advantage you can. Sneaking or striking from elevated places can be crucial for your survival and turn an otherwise lost battle into victory. Enemies also shout at you and their comrades, making them a bit more human. This type of gameplay is very rare in single-player games. NPC behavior almost reminded me of real humans in multiplayer. This way, your enemies don't just feel like dots in your crosshair, but like real thinking persons that are trying to survive in the zone. Another huge part of this engaging gameplay is difficulty. It is recommended to play this game on master level, since lower levels make you and enemies bullet sponges, so you feel like a superhuman, while also making enemies almost resistant to bullets. There are times when you need to empty a whole clip into them before they go down. This thankfully does not happen on master, and even a short burst of AK-47 can kill you or your targets. Even after playing this game for hours, I was still sweating in every encounter and was terrified whenever I saw that there were more than 5 enemies nearby. Each encounter is nerve-wracking, you're gonna be quick saving after each kill, and victory in battle is very satisfying, because enemies will not give up easily and you have to try hard to defeat them. This type of combat is something that I wasn't able to achieve with any other shooter. Now of course it is not perfect, there are also some bugs here and there. For example, in Bandit Base all enemies were just camping in corners and not engaging me whatsoever until I was very close to them. And sometimes AI does not react to your presence at all until you aim your weapons at them. But overall, I still think that Stalker has one of the best combat experiences in gaming. Next thing I wanna talk about is the world of Stalker. What sets it apart from other open world playgrounds is that it is not centered around your character. Zone lives its own life and there are tons of things happening around you. For example, after you clean out Agroprom from army, both Stalkers and bandits start fighting for it off screen. If you are fast enough, you can witness their battle and help Stalkers, or if you come too late, only bandits might be left. In addition to that, new packs of mutants start roaming surrounding areas, and even some stray soldiers may attack any remaining bandits or Stalkers. If you do not return to Agroprom, you may not even witness it, which is something pretty rare for a game. Typically, encounters and battles do not happen until you cross a certain script, so that way you can easily participate and you are basically engaged in any small change in the world. Before mentioned AI is also a huge part of this ecosystem. Bandits, mercs or stalkers roam different parts of zone and they travel to different camps by themselves, sometimes encountering mutants or other groups on the way. Thanks to that, unscripted interesting events may happen, where different groups of NPCs fight for their survival. That way, every playthrough is a bit different, and a stalker that was your best friend first time around may not even survive to meet you in your second playthrough. All these things combined make Zone look like a real small part of world that lives by its own rules and does not care only about player, and in the end, its inhabitants and areas will change even without your input. Huge part of Zone's appeal is also its atmosphere. Located around the destroyed Chernobyl nuclear power plant, Stalker has true post-apocalyptic feel to it. Its great sound effects that can convey mood of environment with ease, make you feel scared, anxious or melancholic in mere seconds, coupled with good lighting that still looks decent after all these years, along with gloomy color palette, makes it very difficult to resist Zone's charm. I live in Eastern Europe, where Chernobyl is located, and the design and architecture of buildings is spot on as well. It looks exactly like it did in 80s, which makes Zone even more realistic, allowing you to easily immerse yourself in its world. Thanks to this combination of atmosphere, AI and living world, Zone is my personal favorite open world of all time. I also want to quickly talk about labs and underground. Here, gameplay turns from survival FPS to true horror experience, that even some of pure horror games cannot hope to achieve. Once again, sound design of these labs alone is so scary that when I played through X18 for first time, I couldn't finish it for months. Great lighting effects and atmosphere, coupled with scary monsters that can definitely give you a lot of trouble, makes labs most memorable experiences in Stalker. I will be making a separate video about the horror parts of Stalker, so therefore I won't go any deeper in this video, and you can look forward to that very soon. Last part I wanna talk about here is mods. Mods have always been an integral part of Stalker community. They helped it survive for all these years, and thanks to Stalker, we have seen tons of great and ambitious mods from various talented creators that wouldn't be possible without it. Stalker was always a buggy and unfinished game with lots of unused potential, which drew modders to it. First game has tons of bug fixing and quality of life improving mods, like Stalker Complete or Zone Reclamation Project that I personally used. Another great one, called Pre-Boy Story, is a huge conversion mod with new storyline and features created by Desowave team that later created Lost Alpha. Lost Alpha is probably the biggest and most ambitious mod for Stalker that took a lot of discarded stuff from old Stalker builds, added some new features, gameplay and story changes, and was basically released as a standalone game that doesn't even need Stalker anymore to work. There are also tons of graphic mods like Autumn Aurora and other game-changing mods like Lurk. Clear Sky and Call of Pripyat also had their fair share of great mods. Clear Sky has its own complete edition and Sky Reclamation project, but otherwise it is a bit overlooked, since a lot of people consider it worst in series. Call of Pripyat on other hand was modded to hell, with Misery being most famous mod. It overhauls Call of Pripyat's gameplay to make it a very hardcore experience, something that a lot of players desire. And I of course cannot forget about Call of Chernobyl. This mod combines areas of all three games into one huge sandbox. You can choose which faction you want to join, including even likes of Monolith or Ecologists, and then you can travel and experience wonders of Zone. This mod is one of best examples of Stalker's advanced AI and living world, with tons of additional quest, weapon and graphic mods for it. And these were just a few most popular mods, and as you can see, Stalker is pretty popular with modders, mainly thanks to its untapped potential and vast world that begs to be experimented with. So thanks to combination of living world, smart artificial intelligence and a never-ending stream of great mods, Stalker's replayability is endless. It is also one of a kind, with no similar game on market. People looking for same experience like Stalker games gave them have no choice other than to replay them with the different strategies or use mods that offer new experiences, since studio that created Stalker no longer exists, and fans have almost no chance for any sort of continuation. With this, Stalker has moved to a legendary status and became a cult classic, adored by thousands of fans all around the world that will never let it die. So yeah guys, once again I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching, As always, please let me know in the comments how you liked this video, if the editing, the sound, the script and the gameplay was good. Also, this Stalker video was basically sort of a test to see if you guys would like to see more Stalker content. I wanted to make a Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl 11 years later, something like Reykjavik does for a lot of games, since I am pretty sure he's never going to take a look at this series. So therefore I'm asking you if you guys would be interested in this sort of video. It would probably take me a lot of time to make, so don't expect it anytime soon. I'm just looking for a feedback to see if I should even start working on it. My next video will be the Middle-earth Shadow of War Act 4 video, and after that we'll be taking a look at Wolfenstein 2. Also, if you can, please let me know of any ways I could maybe share this video or any places where I could post it, or any places I could post even some of my older videos, because I want to get them out in the world. And it is kind of hard to get recognition because, you know, everyone is doing YouTube nowadays. And also, if you want to get notifications for my channel, you can click the bell icon if you want, because I know that YouTube made some slight changes to the subscriber system, and now you no longer get notifications for every video, so do that if you want. So yeah guys, once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.